In today's video, we're going to show you how in Autodesk Fusion you're able to create user parameters and use those user parameters to drive sketch dimensions as well as extrusion dimensions. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go through to my modifier over here and I'm going to go to change parameters. So with my change parameters over here, you'll notice that I've got favorites, user parameters, and model parameters. And the top over here, you'll actually see I can filter out by user parameters and my favorites. And you can have either none clicked or all of them clicked. Okay, so I'm going to create a user parameter here, and if I had already created some geometry and dimensioned it, you'll see under model parameters I would have had those parameter values down at the bottom. Now with my user parameters, to create a new one, I'll go to add user parameter and give it a name. So I'm going to go length, and let's make that 50. Let's go width. Let's go make that 35. Okay, so I'm going to start off with that. So I'm just going to do a normal little rectangle, and I'm going to show you two different ways to use these user parameters. So as I bring it out over, you'll see that I've got my 125 and my 500, or my 50, sorry. So I'm going to say this is going to be my length. Okay, it picks it up, so there we go. And I'm not going to put anything for the width. So I'm just going to click on there. You'll notice that it puts an FX50, which tells me that it is driven from an equation of sort. But it hasn't put down the width over there. So I'm going to go back, because maybe I forgot it or something. And I'm going to select that, bring it out, and then I'm going to type in width. Okay, so there we go. It picks it up, and I can click on it. It goes black because it's accepting it from red, and I go, okay. Now, once that's done, I can go and do a extrusion over here. So with my extrusion, type E for extrusion, drag it up. And what I can do over here now is once the distance over there, say for instance is going to be 15, I can say height equals 15. Let's see what happens over there. And I go, okay. Now I'm going to go back to my modifier. We're going to go to our change parameters and see where's put that height in over there. So under the user parameters, you can see that I've got my length and width. And under favorites, which I can unfavorite as well if I wanted to, you'll see there I've got my height over there. Okay. What you'll also notice over here with the model parameters is that it's got, it tells you what type of dimension it is. So linear dimension, a long distance, and taper angle. So it's, that kind of makes up the extrusion. And I mean, with 5 degrees, you'll see over here, it actually gives the block a little bit of a taper over there. Now, when we saw what we had, we only used the length parameter. So let's go take a look at what maybe, for instance, a unitless parameter would look like. So what I'm going to do over here is I'm just going to go put a hole in. Let's go do a sketch over here. Do a circle. And on that circle, we're going to go and create some holes. Okay. So let's go create a hole on that point over there. Make it a little bit smaller. Let's make it 5. I can go all the way through. That's okay. Okay, so there we got over there. I'm going to just bring back the sketch over here, and I need to put in a construction axis. So axis through point. Okay, so there we go. Because with that hole, I want it to revolve around there, but I need my axis to tell it where to go around. I'm going to turn the visibility off of that as well. Now with this, I'm going to go back to my user parameters, and I'm going to go create a new one, and this time I'm going to say number of holes. Let's do something like this. Now it is red, which means that it's not accepting this user parameter name. So when it comes to, if you want to say a couple of different words, you need to put an underscore or a dash, so number of holes, or just make it one word, but then you can't really see what it's describing. Under units, I'm going to say no units, and I'm going to say 8. And okay, so number of holes, there we go. So now what I can use that for is go to create pattern, circular pattern. I'm going to select features and then my axis. And for the number, under the quantity, I'm going to start typing number, and it's completes it for me, number of holes. There we go. And I can click on OK. So now you can see there I've used a couple of different parameters, user with millimeters, as well as user with the unitless tag to it, and a when I was creating my parameter inside, I said height equals so and so. It actually assigned it as a favorite as well, because I was not going through the parameter dialog box, but through the dimension dialog box over there. So there you can see how parameters are, well, a very important part of the modeling process, as well as it can be very useful for when you want to go change things. Because if I had to go through to my change parameters, I can see exactly what is going on there. So if I want to change the length, the width, the number of holes, or the height, it's all over there, instead of if I had, say, for instance, 500 parameters, running through them and seeing D1, D2, D3, D4999. So once again, user parameters is very useful. And if you are using Fusion and not using user parameters, or even just normal parameters, I would suggest strongly to use them. Thank you very much for watching.